Aaron Judge 10 games. This was a few games ago. 10 games after his first career ejection, he was 16 for 35, 5 homers, 8 doubles, 9 walks, and a 1.692 OPS. So the key to getting the Judge going is ejecting him and throwing him out. So thank you, whoever did that. Yes, we are back. This is the rotation with Mike and Jon. I'm Jonathan Sawyer. With me is my brother Mike DeSanto. Mike, it has been a little bit of a hiatus since we've been doing our show. I guess that spring training tour really kicked our ass and told us basically not to do it all in 1 week like that again.
Yeah, definitely.
So how have you been joining the MLB season so far?
Well, it's been kind of slow going. Not a whole lot going on thus far. It's been cool to see some of the younger teams stepping up. We've seen some young players, as we expected, having breakouts, some people on the move. But for me, it's really been kind of status quo as far as like a lot of the teams that we thought were going to be good and like the top teams in their divisions have been. I mean, it hasn't been too much surprises. There's been a few, but what about you?
Yeah, I mean, you had a good call on the whole entire NL Central there. If we go back to that episode, I think you named every single team that was going to be in the place. So, congrats on that. But, yeah, I mean, it's just been status quo for a lot of teams. We'll get into a little bit of the games of teams that maybe have surprised us or teams that, are, playing the status quo. Let's hop into our Yankees talk. I mean, let's fucking go Yankees.
Yeah, let's go Yankees.
I mean, they are rolling right now, and they're rolling without Garrett Cole right now, and that is the best thing I've said all this time. They're 8-2 in their last 10 on a 7-game winning streak, have won I think 5 of their last 7 series, and right now they're going to be playing Seattle this week, as well as 16-6 at home. But the big number that really surprised me is 17-9 on the road. They are playing really good baseball, and their plus differential is 79, which is the second best in baseball next to the Dodgers. Thoughts on the Yankees this year so far? It's early.
Yeah, so far it's been great. I mean, you'd think initially when they announced that Cole was going to be down for a while, you're like, damn. Yeah. There goes it's a Cy Young winner. It's a reigning AL Cy Young winner. So it's like, okay, that's a big blow to the rotation, no matter how good the other guys are. But the other guys have stepped up. I mean, we've talked about it off the show. Luis Gil, Clark Schmidt should stay in the rotation because, name drop, by the way, rotation. They've stepped up and they've filled that gap, and it's allowed them to not have to rush Cole back, I feel like, which is great. Some of the bats were slow to start the year. They've picked up in recent weeks, and you've had guys. And one thing that I know that you've been pointing out for years now is the middle to bottom of the order not hitting well, and now it is, which is a huge thing.
Yep.
While Judge was struggling and things like that, so I'm very happy with where they're at this point.
I mean, looking at Judge, he struggled to start the year, and if that's the only guy that's going to be struggling for you, I mean, realistically, that's a good thing because he's going to get it going. A couple of pitchers that I'm very excited for is Luis Gil and Clark Schmidt. The bottom half of that rotation is really picking up and really dominating that rotation, where it's going to make Boone have a very tough decision come when Cole comes back here in June. Cole's set to throw to hitters here this week, and realistically, who do you send down, right? I think when you start it off, right, towards the end of the year, you can start to get a 5-man rotation, like I was telling you, but you have to ease Cole back in. This is what every Yankees fan, every Yankees probably player has been hoping for, is that a solid 5 rotation. Now we have 6. You don't want to rush Cole back. You don't want to put him in a position where he's going to have to go and be the guy again. He needs to come in, pitch 1 game, have 6 starts in between. He can't come in and pitch every single, wear him down like you did before. Having 5 guys in front of him that can bail him out and help him out in the mid games to keep his arm loose and ready for the playoffs is huge. You have to do this. You have to run a 6-man rotation for at least a couple months. Let him get loose. Let him get feeling back into the swing of things. Then you go to a 5-man. Then you make the tough decision, because you're always going to have that tough decision maybe in July or so. You're going to figure out in July, okay, who's not picking up? Do I send Nestor down? Nestor's been the one weakest link in the whole rotation right now. Rodon's pitching to his status. Stroman's doing his usual. Heel and Schmidt, you can't throw in the bullpen right now. You cannot throw those two in the bullpen. That will ruin their confidence.
Yes. No, you have to, as long as they are hot hands, you have to ride your hot hands. You have to keep letting them be exactly the way they are, exactly in the position they are. And with the nature, I agree with you, not only with the whole, you cannot run Cole into the ground again, because that's why he's in the position that he's in, is because you ran him into the ground the last few years. I'm very confident about that had a big factor in why he got hurt. But it's also the nature of the injury. It was elbow discomfort. Like, this is an elbow issue, and how many times have we talked about these pitchers having, across the league, having elbow issues because of different factors, including getting thrown too much in the case of Cole. So, ease him back in. You are in a position where he doesn't have to be the guy. So, ease that elbow in. You have the room to do it, so that when you do have to go to that 5-man during the summer, which we inevitably know will happen, because that's just how the playoff hunt goes, he's ready. He's amped up. He's ready for the push to the playoffs and the playoffs. Because
one guy that's really been stepping up though has been Clay Holmes. Clay Holmes is done, and to start the year he wasn't. I mean, yes, he has. Believe the last stat that just came out was that he has. Let me see here. It's on Talking. 20 games. 20 innings pitched, a 0 ERA, 15 hits, 23 Ks, 4 walks, and 13 saves. Now, the biggest thing that worries me about Clay Holmes is he does give up a lot of hits. He does get himself into a position that I've been saying for a long time. Don't overlook the stats, right? You got to actually watch the games, because there was a lot of games in the beginning of the year that he was giving up 2-3 hits, getting himself in position and bailing himself out, which is good. You want him to bail himself out, but getting himself in that position in the playoffs is going to give a team momentum in the ninth when you're only up 2. You need to mow him down and get it. And he's really coming into his own and really starting to settle in. I'm going to read you off a little bit the last time through the rotation, and this is brought to you by the Talking Yanks. Appreciate you guys putting this together. In the last time through this rotation, they're 5-0, 33 innings pitched, .54 ERA, a .81 WHIP, and 36 strikeouts. 14 coming from Luis Hill in his last start. So they are starting to heat up. Nestor is starting to heat up. He had the most innings pitched. He had the most hits given up. But he's starting to come into his own. And I think that bodes well for any of these guys, that they know that they can rely on each other to bail each other out each game. And the bullpen has been strong. I think the weakest point of the whole lineup is basically there is none right now. This team is playing with a lot of confidence. This team is playing with a lot of love with each other. They love playing for each other. You can see it when they're in the dugout, camaraderie with each other, and just like the whole aspect of baseball is having fun. And they're having a lot of fun playing. It is only the end of May. It is early in the season. There is so much baseball to go. You still got the dog days of summer. You still got a lot of season left. You have June, July, August, September, and everything. So when it comes down to the Yankees, they need to just kind of continue to play their going. One thing I want to bring up though is something that's been kind of frustrating as of late this season. I've been seeing it a lot more than usual, and we'll kind of move off the Yankees. But I'm really loving the gelling that they're having right now. I think there's a lot of good things. But this was exactly what happened last year, that they were playing pretty well right around now, and this is where they took their dive. So I'm holding back my hypeness to we get to September and they're playing like this. Right. So one thing that's been bothering me, and I know this wasn't a topic of our conversation today, but the umpiring has to get better. The umpiring has to get better. It is absolutely atrocious what's going on in the Major League Baseball. For guys like Nestor to be able to be doing what he's been doing. I put a tweet out the other day. Nestor's been doing this quick pitch, this funky little, dunk and dive, take his sweet time to the plate. And Las Diaz, who has called a lot of Yankees games, has seen this and has had no problem until like last week. And now all of a sudden there's a problem with it. You can't pick and choose. The umpiring has to be more consistent. I don't know if there's better training. I don't know if it has to get younger. I don't know what the answer is to this, but it's getting ridiculous as fans to watch this. And I know it's getting ridiculous as players because there are some good umpires, but there are a lot more inconsistent, bad umpiring out there that needs to get straight away. I mean, something has to change because this is not good. It's not good for baseball, especially when it comes into the postseason and we have these umpires in the game and then blows a game for a team.
Yeah, and I think the root of it, in my opinion, is kind of a double-edged sword situation where I think they're afraid that they're losing their jobs, and because of that, they're worse, and because of that, they're going to lose their jobs, or at least lose their responsibility of calling balls and strikes and things like that. The robo-umps are coming. Like, the automatic strike zone's coming, then there's nothing they can do about it, but they're making it worse. They're making the league need to fast-track it to solve these problems. And that's kind of like they're doing it to themselves. It's going to happen anyway, but they're doing it to themselves and they're not helping their own case.
No.
It seems to be the personalities. It's just like they want control. And so that's something in that instance, which I agree with you, it's very frustrating. And I said, when I saw it, I was like, he didn't do anything wrong. His foot's on the rubber. It's just essentially part of his windup. Like, he didn't do anything wrong. It's the control. That's something that Las Diaz can control, which is keeping him from quick pitching. He will, threatening, I'll call a balk or I'll call timeout if you try to do that. It's something he can control. And I think that's what this comes down to, is these umpires are looking for anything and everything that they can control. I think it's the same reason that Boone got thrown out because of a fan. Because
it's just getting ridiculous.
The umpire heard something, and that's what he can control.
Yeah, but I think it's just ridiculous in my opinion. I think it's stupid. And MLB needs to get this under. Rob Manfred needs to get this under control because it's gonna happen. And I tell you right now, and I've said this for years, it's gonna happen. It may not happen last year. It's gonna happen in a big playoff game or a World Series game, and it's gonna come all down on that because all eyes are gonna be on that, and especially if it's a New York and LA World Series where people have been wanting for years.
Yeah, that
big time, big city rivalry. That's not a rivalry, but you know what I mean, like the big cities, two biggest cities in the country on the opposite coast, LA and New York, big rivalry, West Coast versus East Coast. You have New York versus LA. It cannot happen, and ultimately the MLB needs to get this under control. But let's get into our topics of the week. Mike, you got a little bit of something for us today. What is it?
So, being that we are coming back after a bit of a long hiatus, like we said earlier, a lot of it's been status quo, but there has been some teams that may be disappointing based on what we were expecting. So, I wanted to talk about who is, to you, the most disappointing team thus far as we hit the end of the first couple months of the season.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple out there. So, the two teams that I've been going back and forth with is Arizona and Houston. Arizona reloaded, pretty much has a similar team than last year, and is 9 games back from the Dodgers. Now, the Dodgers are a great team, don't get me wrong. They're going to be a dominant team, and obviously my pick is going to be wrong of them missing the playoffs because right now they're in full control of the West. But the Diamondbacks are a team that I felt like we're going to come into this, came off a World Series loss, going to come in and be very strong and very, hell-bent and try to really just, make a name for themselves. And they did nothing but get better in the offseason. You signed Jordan Montgomery, you signed some key pitchers, you re-signed some key guys, and you're kind of at the bottom right now. Now, you got a lot of time to make up, right? They're only 22 and 25, right? But, the biggest thing that, worries me is they're, 12 and 13 at home, 10 and 12 on the road. The one thing that sticks out for me is that they're 7 and 17 against teams that are greater than 500. So winning ball clubs. That's not good. They're not playing good baseball. They're not being able to beat the teams that they should beat and they're not being able to beat the teams that they need to compete with to make another World Series run. I think last year was kind of a fluke with this team, but I also think that this team can come back and play a good year. Other team is going to be Houston Astros. Houston Astros have really played bottom ball right now. You went and traded for Justin Verlander, hoping to get that Cy Young Justin Verlander, when I think that was the best that you're going to get out of Justin Verlander for the rest of his career. Because I don't think he's going to be that top guy anymore. He's over 40 years old. He's had a few injuries, a few major injuries, and he's just, unfortunately, age you cannot beat. You cannot beat age. And at the end of the day, it's for them to go after someone like that instead of going after someone like a young pitcher in someone's minor league system, developing your minor league ball club, which they've been good at doing, but haven't been doing good with the pitching. I just say Houston is disappointed, even though they're only four back from Seattle, who has taken the West by storm. Not so really surprising in that aspect, but those are the two teams that I would say are kind of surprising that they're not getting going faster as they should be. So, who are your teams who are your team that you are disappointed or with?
So I think those are two good choices. They've both dealt with injuries and not getting out of the gate very quickly. The one that stood out to me, so there's a couple that stood out to me. There's the Cardinals, which we've been talking about for the last 2 years. Why are they so disappointing given that they have Arenado Goldschmidt and a whole bunch of good players, plus they're the Cardinals. Plus. We always expect the Cardinals to be good.
Yeah.
But they just seem to have – something has happened where they've fallen short. And part of it, I'm starting to believe, is their manager. That's been a lot of talk. Has been just Marmole's not a good manager. He's a good coach. He's not a good manager. And I think he'll be fired by the All-Star break at this point. Because it's the Cardinals. Like, they don't stand for this, usually. But the one that really stood out to me that I didn't really know about until I looked a little deeper into what's been going on this season has been the Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh, yeah, they've been terrible.
They're at the bottom of the East. I didn't even know they were at the bottom of the East until the other day, and I'm like, really? They're worse than the Red Sox? And you look at their roster, over the last 2-3 years, they have invested everything into their roster. Pitching, hitting, all that. And I'm sorry, when Dalton Varsho is your leading home run hitter, that's a problem. I like Dalton Varsho as a player. He's a good outfielder who can also catch. He can hit. He's a good fielder, all that. But he should not be your leading home run hitter. Vlad Guerrero Jr., with that lineup, should not be your leader in batting average. For those eligible, Danny Jansen technically leads them in batting average, but he's only played 22 games. Guerrero's played 46. He's hitting 286.
Why shouldn't Guerrero lead him in batting average?
Because Bo Bichette should be hitting over 300.
Yeah, but so should Guerrero.
I would say 286 is good for him given what he's supposed to be giving your lineup. Vlad Guerrero Jr. should be your leading home run hitter. Bo Bichette should be hitting better than 230. That's my point. Yeah. My point is there's other guys that should be hitting better for average in this lineup. Bichette, Kevin Biggio, George Springer, who Springer's hitting at 186. Yeah. Like, George Springer should not be hitting 186. So there's almost nothing that seems to be going right for this team. And again, I like with the Diamondbacks, they're 21-25 as we sit here today. Still not out of the woods. They could go on a run and, make that up for sure. There's obviously a lot of baseball left to be played. But talk about plus minus with the Yankees earlier. Plus minus for the Blue Jays is -40 at this point, which is not good.
It's mostly their starting rotation. Gausman has taken a huge step back. Barrios has been bad. Bassett's been bad. And then you're relying on a guy who's had confidence issues since talking trash to the Yankees, and Alex Manoah, who you talk trash, you get to the All-Star break one time, you talk all this trash, and then you're pitching in single A ball, dude. Yeah, I mean, I'm not pitching anywhere, right? So, but like, come on, man. Like,
well,
I think I don't know. It's just it's sad to see the rotation kind of be as bad. And I think their best pitcher is UC Kikuchi, I think his name is.
Kikuchi, yeah. And he's not even like, he's their number 4, give or take, depending on who you ask. But I mean, he was a veteran that was brought in to be a veteran lefty. He's not supposed to be the guy you lean on. I mean, Seattle, when he was in Seattle and they first brought him in, he wasn't supposed to be the guy to lean on at that point.
Yeah, I mean, he's their best. He's their best pitcher when it comes to ERA. You got Chris Bassett and Kevin Gausman, who are supposed to be your 1-2 punch at 5 and 4 ERAs. They can't get out of their own way. Bassett's 3 and 6, and Gausman's 2 and 3. So I mean, those two players are just having a terrible season right now. I mean, they've given up a combined 12 home runs between the two of them.
That's not good.
No, I mean it's just between them two, they've been giving up almost 104 hits. In over 90 innings pitch. So I think it's just the pitching. The starting rotation is bad. You had a guy in Alek Manoah who was supposed to be your guy, who's supposed to be the guy, the starter in your farm system. He just basically fell out and flamed out. I mean, he's had one appearance at a 3 ERA this year, but he's back down in the minors now. One game, one inning, or one game he pitched, or 1-1. He's pitching 3 games. He has 11 hits, 10 runs, 6 earned runs, and 3 home runs in 3 appearances this year so far. So, he doesn't have a chance to come up to the major leagues right now at this point if he's pitching like this. So, 3 ERA, it's just not. I mean, I think he's a bullpen guy at this point. He's not a starter. But yeah, I'm shocked with that lineup and with that amount of power and that amount of. It's like the Yankees, almost similar to a few. They need one big splash to come in. That veteran. The problem is that team is very young too, very young. Their oldest guy, I think, is probably the Springer. George Springer is probably one of the oldest guys.
Springer, and he's like 32.
And the rest of the guys are in their mid-20s. Vlad Guerrero's 23? Bo Bichette's 22. Like, they're young guys on that team.
Similar age, yeah.
Yeah,
Barshow's
so they're all very young guys. So I think that plays a factor. They need that veteran presence in the locker room. So we'll see what happens. I mean, like you said, it's a long season. They're only pretty much 500 at this point. They're 21-25. I can see them pulling themselves out. But Baltimore and Tampa aren't going to give up their spots very, very easily.
No, and that's the thing is, like, it's not a division where climbing back is going to be very easy.
No.
I mean, even Boston at this point is at least going to give you problems. I don't think they're in it for the long haul because they're a young team too at this point. But,
and they're giving up a lot.
Cool. Right. But cool, like at this point, you look down the road, right? Again, long season, but you look down the road and it's like, all right, cool, you get over Boston. But like you said, now you got to get over the Rays and the Orioles and the Yankees, and then deal with the rest of the American League to start with,
and
if you even have hopes. Right, so it's like, that's a tough hill to climb with the way they're playing.
I will say the Yankees have a very tough road coming up that they never play good in. Is that they have their West Coast swing where they play at the Padres. They play at the Padres, they play at the Giants, and they play at the Angels. So the Angels, and those are typically, that's where you see the Yankees dive down. This is what happened last year in the Dodgers series. They had a great series against the Dodgers. Judge gets hurt, out for 3 months. Boom, season's all pretty much gone.
Right.
So we'll see. But let's get to our last but fun topic of the night.
Yes.
Which is?
I thought it would be fun if we were to challenge each other to do some things. I believe it was in the last episode we had. You challenged me to name the starting lineup for, I believe, what was it? The
opening day roster, 2000 opening day roster.
Opening day roster. And that got me thinking it would be cool if we made this a little bit of a segment where we challenged each other to do top 10, starting lineups, all-star teams, what have you, whatever we come up with. So, you know what? I will allow you, as a gracious idea generator, I will allow you to go first. What do you have for me, sir?
Okay, so it's pretty easy. Name the top 5 home run leaders in in baseball right now.
Oh, I actually did look at this earlier. a little.
So
But
from 1 to 5.
My memory serves me.
Yeah, 1 to 5.
Okay, so 1 is. Oh, or was he 2? Okay, I know Gunnar Henderson is in the top 2 because he's hit 15.
Which is it?
He's 2. Gunnar Henderson's 2. No, he's 1.
Yep.
Okay, Gunnar Henderson's 1 with 15. Let's see. Ohtani has hit 13. He's at 4.
Yep.
He's at 4.
Yep.
There's somebody like at 2 is like someone you wouldn't expect to necessarily hit a lot of home runs, I don't think.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's hit a lot.
Yeah.
He's hit more than you'd expect at this point in the season. What the hell was it?
You got 1 and 4. You got Gunnar Henderson at 1, Ohtani at 4.
Ohtani at 4. Olsen's not there, is he?
No.
No, I didn't
He's
think
hurt,
so.
remember?
Yeah. Acuna?
I think. No.
No, I don't think so. Betts is in there. No?
Olsen isn't even in the top 20.
No, you're right. He's hurt.
Yeah, I thought he was hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt. I don't know if he's back yet, if I remember, but he's missed enough time, whether he's currently hurt or not, to not be in the list. See, I looked at this because I wanted to see where the Varsho was, because I knew he was there. He was the Blue Jays home leader. See, my memory is failing me now. Sorry, start throwing names out. Freeman.
At what?
3.
No. He's
5.
not in his top 5.
Oh, okay. Tatis at 5? No. Jesus. Did Judge pick it up? And he's at 5?
He's not in
No.
5.
3.
Yep.
Okay.
13.
Okay. I thought he had gotten into the teens.
Which is crazy because he had like 2 through his first like 14,
Exactly.
15
Well, it does
games.
like you said. It's the last 10 games he's hit 5.
Yeah.
You had said earlier. Yeah. No, he's been on a tear. Okay.
Where he started this season like the first like 9 games or something, he hadn't had a home run. And
and everybody was like, "Oh no!" Everybody panicked.
Yeah.
They're like, but I remember you and I were like, "All right, it's Judge.
He's gonna connect at some point."
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if the rest of the lineup was going like it was, he'll pick up his. So, and that's what Boone said. Boone's like, "Trust me, if the rest of the lineup is going good," they're like, I remember one reporter was like, "Are you thinking about sitting down Judge?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay,
yeah, okay,
yeah,
okay. Sure."
Yeah, all right.
I'm gonna sit down the 2022 MVP.
Are you worried about Judge? I'm not worried about Judge one bit.
No, I'm not worried about Judge at all.
So you got Gunnar at 1, you got Judge at
1,
3, and you got Ohtani at 4. Who is 2 and 5?
2 and 5. Machado?
No.
Okay, I'm trying to think of home run hitters, but the 2 is a weird one. 2 is a weird one.
Yeah. You would not expect this guy to be a 2.
No. Is it? Okay, let me try to get 5 because 5's a legit home run hitter, isn't he?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. Oh no, I remember who it is. I remember who 2 is. It's Kyle Tucker.
Yep.
Yeah. Now I remember.
How much?
Is he also at 15 or is he at 14?
Yeah, he's at 15.
Also at 15. It's weird. It's him and Henderson, neither of which I would expect to be at 15 right now.
Gunnar more than Kyle Tucker though. Kyle Tucker's more of a the way his swing is, he hits a whole lot of home runs, but yeah, Kyle Tucker is number 2. Who is number 5?
So 5 and it's typically a legit home run hitter. Is it Julio?
Julio
Rodriguez.
No. I don't know why I asked. It's not him.
Yeah. I was trying to think. I was like, what other Julio is there? Julio Franco. He played in the league for like 25 years. Name drop there. Just off the back.
Okay, here's a hint.
Okay.
He's Hispanic.
He's Hispanic. Okay, that does help because I've already said Acuna. I've already said Julio. That helps a little bit. Cespedes. No, he's out of the league.
Jonas Cespedes.
Jonas Cespedes. No, Yoleski Cespedes, the guy that never broke the minor leagues. He's Hispanic. It's not Correa. Okay. Home run hitter, Hispanic. Not one of the Cruzes.
Nope.
No, because they're both stealing bags, but Ellie's on pace for like 100-something steals this year.
You want another hint?
Yeah, sure.
Think of Latin singers.
Latin singers? Oh, God. Jose Iglesias.
No.
Thinking Enrique Iglesias. Ricky Martin.
No.
Camilla Cabello. Latin singers. Bad Bunny. Daddy Yankee. He's a Yankee. That's what it is. It's not Soto, right? No, I didn't think so.
Soto's at 11.
Yeah, he's close. Right, because five.
He's also not the second place Yankee.
Is that a clue?
No, I'm just telling
okay.
you, he's not a second.
Okay.
He's not the second place Yankee. He's third on the list.
Stanton, the second place Yankee?
Yeah, with 12.
Yeah, okay, because that's all he does. He strikes out or hits home runs. I see. I'm gonna kick myself. I know I'm gonna kick myself if I don't get this. Dolis Garcia?
No, he is close though.
Yeah, damn it.
This is fun.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Not Acuna. It's not Ozzie Albies.
No.
It's not a Brewer. I can't think of anybody on the Brewers. Unless Jesus Aguilar, but I doubt it's Jesus Aguilar. I said Tatis and Machado. I don't know Latin singers. God damn it.
My wife would be like, "Yes, I know that."
Yeah. Is it a Dodger? Who the hell's in their lineup at this point? Because I already got a taunt name. He's not Latin.
Yeah, he's not Latin at all.
We're crossing names off the list like for. It's not Santander. The White Sox don't have anybody. Jose Ramirez? No. Fuck. Franmil Reyes. Damn it. Jorge Soler.
No. No.
Brian De La Cruz.
No. The Marlins suck.
Doesn't mean he's not hitting home runs. It just means they're not scoring otherwise.
True.
Luis Arise.
No.
He fucking hit home runs.
He
He's
just
just
gets on
batting
base.
titles all the time.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you?
No.
All right.
Starling Marte.
No.
Ketel Marte.
Could tell Marte. Oh.
Yeah. He's
No.
Carlos Santana.
Santana.
Santana?
No. I was just saying the song. Santana.
I thought you were saying
That's
Santana.
how I used to open the songs. Be like Santana.
Okay. Go ahead and tell me, because I'm just wasting time at this point. I'm gonna kick myself so hard.
It is Marcel Osuna.
Miles de noche como la.
Oh, okay. That didn't. I have no idea who that is.
You have
not
no idea
Marcelo
who Ozuna
the
is?
singer. The singer. Not. I know who Marcelo Ozuna is.
You don't know who Ozuna is?
No.
Really?
I'm not up on my Latin music, man. I'm really not.
But he's like one of the most well-known ones, American verse ones.
I just.
Next to Bad Bunny, he's probably one of the most popular ones.
Yeah.
I stumped the mic.
You got me.
All right, now let's do yours. After that was like 35 minutes.
Yeah, I know, seriously. That's why I just called it. I need you to tell me the top 5 between the years of 2000 and 2009. The top 5 total home run hitters.
2000
those specific years.
Is it Albert Pujols?
Albert Pujols is number 3.
A-Rod?
Number 1.
And Barry Bonds?
Nope. He's number 6.
Really?
Yep.
Is it Ken Griffey?
No, he's way down the list.
Okay, yeah, because he was
Injuries.
in the 90s.
Well, yeah, you're right. He was more healthy.
So A-Rod's 1.
So you got 1 and 3.
And
You
then
got A-Rod at 1 and Pujols at 3.
and not Bonds. Bonds 5.
No, 6.
6.
You're looking for top 5. Bonds missed by 7 home runs.
Yeah, don't ask me to give you the fucking number because
No. I'm not gonna ask you the numbers. No,
that'd be fucking terrible. I'd be sitting here for a year. It'd be 67 minutes.
I will.
before
I will
get
say,
it.
while you think A-Rod is in first by like
A lot. He had most of his home runs in between those years.
I can't do quick math, but yeah, by like 50 or 60.
Well, he was drafted in '96, right? Rookie '96.
No, he's a rookie sooner actually. He's a rookie '93.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, because Jeter got drafted in '92.
Correct. A-Rod got
And-
drafted in like 90.
Yeah. No, he's younger, isn't he, than Jeter?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he is, because he retired after Jeter. He was 41 when he retired.
A-Rod's 48. Jeter's 49. So he must have been drafted in 93 and come right up.
All right, let's see. Jeter. No.
No, not Jeter. I wish.
Giambi?
He's in the top 10, but no. Actually, no,
Sosa?
he's not in the top 10. He's 12.
Sosa?
Sosa? No.
McGuire.
No. No, McGuire retired in 2000 after 2001.
Frank Thomas?
No.
Jim Tomei.
Number 2.
Is he?
Yeah, Jim Tomei's number 2.
Oh, that's good.
He hit a lot.
He hit a lot. So I need 4 and 5?
You need 4 and 5. You got top 3.
4 and 5, I guarantee, are people I don't even know.
No, I guarantee they're people you know. 4 definitely is. 4 you know.
Chipper Jones?
No.
Andrew?
No, he's 10. You know 4 very well. I'll tell you that.
Jorge?
We know 4 very well. No.
Sheffield?
No.
Oh, Big Poppy.
No.
Manny?
He's 11. Manny.
Fucking asshole.
Yeah. 5. So you got 5. Let's see. 5 is someone we know well. You got to think someone that was probably an underrated power hitter, just accumulating home runs.
Alfonso Soriano.
No, I wish he's down further on the list in like the teens.
Mike Trout? No, he wasn't even drafted that year. He wasn't drafted. He wasn't in the Major League Baseball yet.
No, he was drafted in 2010 actually,
Yeah.
with a pick that should have been the Yankees. But we signed Teixeira, so they got the pick.
Teixeira?
No,
I was gonna say.
I wouldn't have said that if it was him.
He fluked up. I was
No,
like,
I'm not floating you. No, I'm not floating you a name.
Fudge nuts.
Would you like to know the teams he played for?
Sure.
Okay, no particular order. Blue Jays, Marlins, Mets.
Oh, Carlos Beltran.
No.
No, what?
He didn't play for the Marlins
Play
or
for
the
them.
Blue Jays.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
Carlos Beltran.
Carlos Beltran did not play for the Marlins or the Blue Jays.
Could've
He
sworn
played
did.
for... He did not. He played for the Mets. He played for the Royals. He played for the Yankees. He played for the Astros, the Giants, and the Cardinals. I only know that... I will say I only know that because I watched a video from JM Baseball. Shout out to you guys. That they literally had to name the teams that he was on.
Is it Mickey?
It's not Miggy. Miggy's only... Other than the Marlins, Miggy's only ever been a Tiger.
Oh, Blue Jays, Marlins, top Mets.
Blue Jays, Marlins, and Mets.
I'm trying to think of the Mets. David Wright? No, he was never a fucking.
No.
He was always a Met.
He wasn't... No.
Oh my god.
Think of
It's a-
those teams, though. Think of those Mets teams. The Wright Reyes good Mets teams.
Oh, Jose Reyes?
No, I'm not gonna float you the name. Also, Jose Reyes didn't hit home runs.
That's what he says. He's sneaky, so.
Not that sneaky.
feel like it was a catcher. Russell Martin?
Not a catcher. I'll tell you that.
Or second base. I feel like a second baseman would hit home runs.
Maybe.
I mean, even if you gave me that, I wouldn't have any clue at all who the second baseman of the Marlins, Mets, and Blue Jays was. I will when you say it, but I won't. Like thinking about it, it won't pop in my head.
I'm not outright saying that was me indicating that it is a second baseman. But
No, I know. I'm just saying to you, like, even if you did, like, I probably wouldn't even. It wouldn't It's not registering to me if I'm trying, because I can't think of the second baseman between that time frame.
Yeah.
Like when you say the name, I guarantee I'll be like, "Fuck yeah, it does make sense."
Yeah.
Jose Reyes was the shortstop at that time.
He's only a Marlin for a year.
I mean, it's towards the end of his career, maybe.
He ended with the Mets. The order is Blue Jays, Marlins, Mets.
So he was a Blue Jay for a while. Fuck, I don't even know. I don't know any fucking Blue Jays. Carlos Delgado is like the one I know most that hit home runs. And he was early 90s. He was like 80s, 90s. Is it Carlos Delgado?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yes.
No way.
Yep, Carlos Delgado.
Oh my god.
You said that and I'm sitting here like...
Let's go. That was the only Blue Jay I could remember because of the Chiefs.
Carlos Delgado's the only Blue Jay I know. Okay.
Oh, I saw your face. I was like,
at that point, I'm like,
wow. What did he have? Tell me the numbers.
So, A-Rod leads with 435. Jim Tomei with 368. Pujols just short with 366. Manny with 348. And Delgado with 324. And then Bonds behind him with 317.
You're right. A-Rod was above.
Oh, yeah. No, A-Rod blew him out of the water. That 54 home run year in 07, that kind of helped.
Yeah, I bet.
Not
yeah,
that, although Tomei had he had 4 seasons of 40 or something.
Damn,
but yeah,
I can't believe I got that.
Delgado, like I said, Delgado just accumulated.
Well, when you said that, my first instinct when you said Blue Jay and Marlin, I said Delgado.
Yeah.
And then when you said Mets, I was like, I can't remember if he was a Met later in his career or if he was late 2000, and then basically didn't hit a lot of home runs. So Delgado was always on my brain, but I was just like, damn, I don't think it's him because I don't think he hit a lot of home runs. He was more 90s. But he hit a lot, apparently.
Well, that's the thing. He played a lot longer than we think he did. Looking at his Wikipedia,
he's drafted in the 80s.
I believe, or at least an international signing, because he was a Blue Jay from 93 to 04. And then 05 with the Marlins, and then 06 to 09 with the Mets.
All right.
So he played for 16, 17 years, which I didn't think he did. But, he sneakily, he's not putting up the 50 home run seasons, but every year he's hitting over 30. So he's just slowly but surely accumulating home runs as the whole decade goes. Bonds was done in 07, but I think he got hurt a couple of years in there.
Damn. All right. Well,
but bravo. You got to it. And you knew it. You just had convinced yourself at first that that's not who it could be.
Yeah, I couldn't think of a Mets. It wasn't because he didn't play second. He played first.
He played first, yes. That's why I did throw in there. I was like, I'm not saying he's a second baseman.
I'm like, that threw me off completely because you were like, you're not saying he's not a second, but you're not saying he is because he never played second. I was like, yeah.
No, he never played second.
I think he played right field.
First baseman.
He played right field too, right? Wait, was he early?
He may have early in his career, but by the 2000s, in the 2000s, he's either first baseman or DH.
All right, well, this is our episode of The Rotation. Mike tried to stump me, but he can't stump the Jon. No, I'm joking. But great.
No, don't worry. I'll get you next time.
Great episode. We were able to kind of get back on the horse here, as they say, and get back into baseball season. We're going to be coming weekly with our show again. Yes. Make sure you guys are tuning into the regular show on Thursdays around noontime. Whatever. On Thursday. Make sure you pay attention to social.
It'll be on Thursday.
At Cinco Squad Pod 05. We're going to be coming to you all summer long with baseball coverage and into the playoffs like last year. Like I said, we took a little bit of hiatus. The spring training tour kicked our ass, so we'll see you here next week. The Rotation with Mike and Jon is out. See you guys.